Daniel sat alone in his small apartment in Brooklyn, staring at the blinking screen of his phone. No missed calls, no messages, just silence. He had come to America 5 years ago with nothing but a dream and a suitcase full of hope. Back then, he believed that hard work would be enough. But now, at 32, he was barely surviving, working 2 jobs, sending money back home, and living with a loneliness that slowly ate him from the inside. Every morning before sunrise, Daniel delivered food across the city. In the afternoon, he cleaned offices in Manhattan, and at night, he returned to his tiny apartment where the only sound was the hum of the refrigerator and the noise of his neighbors through thin walls. He often wondered if this was what success in America was supposed to look like. One rainy evening, his phone rang. It was his mother from back home. Her voice was weak. "Daniel, your father is sick. We need money for his treatment." Daniel closed his eyes. He had only $80 in his bank account. "I'll send it, Mom, I promise," he said, even though he had no idea how. The next day, Daniel skipped meals and worked longer hours. On his final delivery of the night, he arrived at a large house in a rich neighborhood. A woman opened the door. She looked tired but kind. "Thank you for coming so late," she said. Her name was Laura. As Daniel handed her the food, he noticed a framed photo behind her, a man in a military uniform. She noticed him staring. "My husband," she said softly. "He passed away last year." Daniel didn't know what to say, but he felt something in her voice that was familiar: loneliness. Over the next few weeks, Daniel kept delivering to her house. Sometimes she ordered too much food and offered him some. They started talking, slowly, carefully. Daniel told her about his family. Laura told him about her late husband and her struggle to raise her son alone. One night, Laura said, "Daniel, you don't have to pretend to be strong all the time." That broke something inside him. Tears rolled down his face as he told her about his father, his debt, his fear of failing. A few days later, Laura gave him an envelope. "I know you didn't ask for this, but please use it." Inside was a check that could cover his father's treatment. Daniel tried to refuse, but she stopped him. Sometimes help is a gift meant to be accepted. His father survived, but life didn't suddenly become easy. Daniel kept working, and Laura kept ordering. Over time, their conversations became longer. Her son started calling Daniel Uncle. Months passed. One evening, Laura said, "Daniel, I don't want to be alone anymore." Neither did he. But love isn't simple when 2 broken people meet. Daniel felt guilty. Laura felt scared. They pulled away. Weeks of silence passed. Then one night, Daniel was attacked while delivering food. He ended up in the hospital. When he woke up, Laura was sitting beside him crying. "I was afraid I lost you too," she whispered. That was when they understood. Life had already taken too much from both of them. They decided not to lose each other. Daniel left delivery work and started a small cleaning business. Laura helped him with paperwork. Slowly, his life began to change. 2 years later, Daniel stood in front of the same house, not as a delivery man, but as the man Laura loved. Sometimes success doesn't come as money. Sometimes it comes as someone who sees your pain and stays anyway. And for Daniel, America finally felt like home. Michael had always believed America was a land where dreams came true. That belief carried him across oceans and borders into a small, 1-bedroom apartment in Chicago where the ceiling leaked when it rained and the heat barely worked in winter. Still, he smiled every morning, telling himself that struggle was just the price of a better future. Back in his home country, his mother used to say, "Even the tallest tree begins as a small seed." Michael held on to that sentence while working 12-hour shifts at a packaging warehouse, lifting boxes until his arms burned and his back felt like it might break. He sent most of his money home, keeping just enough to survive. One evening, after another exhausting shift, Michael's phone rang. It was his sister. "Mom collapsed today," she said, her voice shaking. "The doctor says she needs surgery." Michael felt the floor disappear beneath him. The surgery cost more money than he had saved in 3 years. "I'll figure something out," he said, even though fear filled every part of him. The next day, Michael went to a community center to look for extra work. That's where he met Sarah. She was volunteering, helping immigrants fill out job applications and legal forms. She noticed his nervous hands and tired eyes. "Are you okay?" she asked gently. Michael hesitated, then told her everything. Sarah listened quietly. "I can't promise miracles," she said, "but I can help." Over the next few days, she helped Michael apply for better jobs, government assistance, and emergency medical grants. Still, time was running out. One night, Michael got a call from the hospital back home. "We can't wait much longer," the doctor said. Michael sat on the edge of his bed, staring at the wall. He felt like a failure. Sarah showed up at his door the next morning. "There's a fundraiser tonight at the community center," she said. "We're going to tell your story." Michael felt embarrassed, but desperate. That night, strangers listened as Sarah spoke about a son who had crossed the world to give his mother a better life. By the end of the evening, enough money had been raised to save her. Michael cried for the first time in years. His mother survived, but something else had also begun. Michael and Sarah started talking more, then laughing, then caring. Yet Michael felt unworthy. "I'm just a warehouse worker," he told her one night, "and I'm just a human. That's enough." Life wasn't easy. Michael still worked hard, bills still came, but now he wasn't alone. One day, he received a call. "You've been promoted," his boss said. For the first time, Michael believed he might actually belong here. Years later, he stood beside Sarah in a small park, holding her hand. America hadn't given him riches, it had given him something better, a chance. Ethan used to believe that love was something only lucky people found. He grew up watching his parents fight over money, over time, over everything. By the time he moved to New York from a small town in Texas, he had already decided he would never depend on anyone. Dreams were safer than people. He rented a tiny room in Queens and worked as a rideshare driver. Every day he drove strangers across the city, listening to their stories, their laughter, their arguments, their secrets. Everyone seemed to have somewhere to go, someone to meet. Ethan only drove back to an empty room. One night, close to midnight, he picked up a young woman standing in the rain outside a hospital. She was crying. Her name was Lily. "Are you okay?" Ethan asked softly as she got into the car. "I don't know," she whispered. "My dad just went into surgery. I don't even know if he'll make it." Ethan didn't know why, but he turned off the meter. "Take your time," he said. "I'm not going anywhere." Over the next hour, Lily told him everything. Her father was all she had left. Her mother had died years ago. She was drowning in medical bills, student loans, and fear. Ethan listened, something opening inside him. After that night, Lily kept calling Ethan whenever she needed a ride, not because of the car, because of the way he listened. They became friends, then something more. But life tested them. Lily's father survived, but was left disabled. Lily had to quit school to work full-time. Ethan's car broke down, and he fell behind on rent. Stress pushed them apart. "I can't do this anymore," Lily said one night, exhausted. "Everything is falling apart." Ethan watched her walk away. Months passed. Ethan nearly lost everything. Then one day, Lily showed up at his door. "I was wrong," she said. "We don't have to be strong alone." They rebuilt their lives together, slowly, painfully, honestly. Years later, Ethan opened his own small driving company. Lily finished school. Her father walked her down the aisle. Some people find love in perfect moments. Others find it when everything is broken. And sometimes that's when it's the strongest.
Ryan used to believe that being alone was safer than being disappointed. He had learned that lesson when his father walked out on his family when he was just 12. His mother worked 3 jobs to keep food on the table, and Ryan promised himself that one day he would never let anyone suffer because of him. Years later, Ryan stood in Los Angeles traffic, driving his old delivery van from one drop to another. He was tired, underpaid, and always worried about money, but he kept going. Every dollar he earned went toward paying off his mother's medical bills. She never complained, but Ryan saw the pain in her eyes. One night, while delivering a package to a high-rise apartment, Ryan met a woman named Emily. She was sitting in the lobby, crying quietly. He was supposed to walk past her, but something made him stop. "Are you okay?" he asked. Emily looked up, surprised that someone had noticed. "I just found out my fiancé cheated on me," she said. "I gave him everything." Ryan didn't know how to comfort her, but he sat beside her. Sometimes silence is the best kindness. That night became the first of many conversations. Emily started ordering deliveries just to see Ryan. They talked about heartbreak, dreams, and how unfair life could be. Slowly, they began to heal each other. But trouble came again. Ryan's mother needed surgery. Emily lost her job. Money disappeared. Stress returned. "I don't want to drag you into my problems," Ryan said one night. Emily held his hand. "We're already in this together." They struggled, they fought, they almost gave up, but they didn't. Years later, Ryan owned a small delivery company. Emily managed the office. His mother was healthy. Emily smiled again. Love didn't save them. They saved each other. And that made all the difference.